Thank you everybody for joining us for our April PAC session. So we are excited to be able to host this both in person and via Zoom. So if everybody in the room here could give a very loud cheer for those of us joining via Zoom. Okay. So we have quite a few parents here, a lot that were coming from College Day. So can I get a round of applause for College Day for anybody over there? Great. So again, thanks for joining us. So our general PAC updates will be a little shorter than other months so that we can present our residential life speaker panel as well. So let me, next slide. So we will have updates from our different committees. So I will start off for those who don't know me. My name is Maria Ramos, and I'm this year's president. And Jim, I just wanted to let you know if you could please close that box there. Thank you. So some things that we've been working on for different things that have been happening for PAC. First, I'd like to welcome our new senior parent representative, Riaz Baksamusa. You will hear from him later, but just wanted to say welcome to him. He is the newest member of the executive board, so he will be continuing until the end of this school year. As you can tell from the title, he is a parent of a senior, so welcome Riaz. But he will be reaching out to parents of seniors as well for some sessions, so feel free to join him. This is your opportunity to, again, discuss any things that might be related to senior parents, any concerns you have, things like that. Also, we thank the parents who were able to attend some of the meal tasting sessions. We did get feedback, and we'll let you know if there are other opportunities available for the rest of the year. Also, we'd like to thank Dr. Glazer and those who participated in the feedback and brainstorming sessions with him. So again, this is not going to be the one and only time that he will offer that. He will give those opportunities as well throughout the next year. And also we still have Kyle Blay, who is our vice president, who has been involved in the monitoring committee. So he's been able to share those input from fellow parents in that committee. Also, what we have coming up is that we do have PAC members that will be participating in the virtual admissions sessions. And also we will have a presence at the PAC placement test. So those are for the incoming sophomores. So an opportunity for parents to get to know more about the PAC before their students are even step foot on campus and have an opportunity to ask questions, from fellow IMSA parents. And also, as I had mentioned, for the meal tasting sessions, those who attended, you're invited to join and give some feedback on that food service. And it's not just limited to those who came for meal tasting. So if you do have input you'd like to share regarding the food service that is here, this is hosted by IMSA, and it will be on April 27 at 6:30 p.m. The link is there. And I just want to remind everybody, this meeting is being recorded. The recording along with the slide deck will be available on our website, and you will receive an email next week with those links. Okay. And also, we invite you to celebrate with us. As you can tell, it's a really fun time to get together with parents if you're in person here, but also via Zoom to connect with everybody and just stay up to date on what's happening. But we will have our last PAC session in about a month, Saturday, May 21st at 10 a.m. So do hope that you'll join us. And again, we will have food and refreshments on hand for those that will be coming in person. And more information will be sent out for that meeting in a few weeks. So keep an eye out for that. And also going into the upcoming school year, as you all know, we do have the election still going on for the incoming executive board, but also we've had the pleasure for a lot of our committee chairs will be returning for next year. They will need additional help, both on the committees, but also for some with needing some co-chairs. So we do have that information sign up form handy. So feel free to scan the QR code. Let us know how you're able to help out next year. Because we do, we've been able to do a lot this year, and we'd love to have the new incoming team be able to start off strong. Okay. Next, we have updates from our treasurer, Jen Monk. Jen?
Hello, I am so jealous I'm not there. That food looks fantastic. So, hi, I'm Jen. I'm the treasurer of the PAC this year. If you'll go to the next slide.
Jen, can you see it?
I don't. Oh, there we go. I see it now. So we are on target for our income this year. The budget for the senior banquet ticket sales and the bus ticket sales will start to firm up here pretty soon. We'll have those final numbers within the next week or so, so they'll be reported next month. If you'll go to the next slide for me. And again, this is a spreadsheet of our expenses for the month of March. We've had some committees report to us that they won't be using some of their funds, so we'll be reallocating those funds to other committees, so we can make sure we are utilizing those dollars wisely. If you'll go to the next slide for me, please. So in March, we had 54,194 in checking, and in our reserves, we have about 23,000 for a total at the end of March of 77,196. We will be spending some money out of our reserves for the deposit for the senior banquet next year, and that'll be reflected on the next financial statement reported in April. If you'll go to the next slide for me. So we are now taking pre-registration for the PAC bus. So if you know that you are interested in the bus next year, please sign up. We are negotiating contracts, hopefully as soon as early summer. And the bus transportation committee could really use an idea of how many kids will be using the bus. So if you utilize the bus or you didn't get a chance to utilize the bus this year, but want to next year, please sign up for pre-registration. If you'll go to the next slide for me. And the senior banquet, if you have signed up for the senior banquet and don't remember if you've ordered chicken or a vegetarian meal or who you invited to attend with you, you can always go to the senior banquet tab on the PAC website and click on verify registration and meals, and there will be a list of all the seniors attending along with their guests and their meal choices. If there's any discrepancies, please let me know as soon as possible because we will be turning in our final list this week. If you'll go to the next screen for me, please. And just a reminder, we've got proud parent provisions. If you want to purchase from your seats and show the receipt to whoever's distributing proud parent provisions, they will be glad to give you what you ordered. T-shirts are not yet ready, but they will be soon. If you want a t-shirt, we can always mail those to you. If you'll go to the next slide for me, please. Oh, and there is the code for proud parent provisions. You can also get to this link by going to the IMSA PAC website and going to the Proud Parent Provisions tab at any time. If you'll go to the next slide for me. Somebody's at the door. Thank you. Okay, I'll let you go. Bye.
Thank you. That was a special appearance by her dog. Thank you, Jen. And Riaz, are you on the call?
I am. You can hear me. So Riaz Becksmith, I'm the, as Maria indicated in the beginning, I'm at the end of the year, tail end here, senior rep for the PAC. That's me in the middle of the three, picture of my wife on the right or my left, I guess, and my son Shiraz, who's a senior on the other side of me. So the only update I have is really that there is a call for senior parents on Monday, the 24th, 25th, and this coming up Monday at 7 p.m. So we will get together as all senior parents, try to answer any questions that anyone has, give a little bit of updates on some of the going on at the last month of the year here. We do actually have a few things that are happening even for the seniors, so especially for the seniors, I think. So that's really my update for the senior rep. And then the next question, this one I'll cover this slide. This is not anything to do with senior rep, but this is the PAC Executive Board elections. everyone should have received emails about this one, but if you didn't, you can always go to imsapac.org. imsapac.org, just a reminder, is like, that's the go-to place if you have any questions. Really, you want to see the calendar, you want to see what the Zoom link is for any of the calls, you can get all that information from the calendar on the imsapac.org website. So the voting is going to be remaining open until April 29th. Vote once, please. We do want to get as many people as possible. Voices are important to all elections. We'll allow the elected officers. We're going to announce them in the May PAC session, and we're going to review nominations for the elected officers are going to then review the nominations for the junior and senior representative, make decisions for those roles by July 1st. Just as a reminder, it's a little different this year than it has been in some years in the past, where the top 4 people will get the get kind of a name to the PAC executive board. So you're not necessarily voting for president, vice president, treasurer, or secretary. You're voting for the top 4 people to be on the executive board, and then those 4 will be able to not kind of dole out responsibilities as to who wants to take which position. The sophomore representative is going to be decided later in the summer. Of course, we don't have any idea as to who all the sophomore parents are going to be yet. Any questions I can answer for that? I think those were my updates.
Thanks, Riaz. So anybody that's in person, feel free to just raise your hand if you have any questions, and anybody who has questions on the call, feel free to put it in the chat. But thank you for those updates, Riaz, and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have updates from our committees. First, we have Friday Fest, Carrie and Melissa.
Hey, hello, I'm Carrie Morgan. This is Melissa Slim right here with the pictures of the Friday Fest. Okay, so Luau is May 25th, and if you're not familiar with Luau, it's an event that's sponsored and run by PAC, which is the Campus Activities Board. That's a student-led organization, and they work in conjunction with Brittany Walker. It's a huge celebration. All the kids participate. There's going to be activities and games and entertainment. That's all PAC has designated that they decided what they want to have on campus and everything, but they have asked the Friday Fest committee to coordinate the meal for the evening. So we'll be serving dinner from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the huge tent that's in the parking lot behind 1505. And so what we're doing is we're asking parents to come together and help us out. There'll be over 650 kids eating, and this is the actual first luau that's been in person in over 2 years. So we really do need your help to make it amazing. Okay, so an email went out Wednesday morning. I already found out that not everybody has received it, so I'm going to send it out again. I'll submit it Sunday, and it should hit your mailboxes on Monday. But in the meantime, you can go to www.imsapac.org and click on the Friday Fest tab, and all of the information from the email, along with the links, are located right there on our page. We need parents to sign up to donate and serve homemade meals. These are some pictures from Friday Fest in the past. Friday Fest was in person in a potluck. That's very similar to what we'll be on Wednesday the 25th for Luau. We also need parent volunteers to donate. There's a lot of different jobs that need to be done. And last but not least, if you live too far from campus to donate food or to volunteer in person, or you're unable to cook because it is on a Wednesday evening, so it's right smack in the middle of the week, which is convenient for the kids, maybe not so much for us. But Jen Locke, our treasurer, set up a form where you can donate money towards the events that we'll use to purchase all of the items that are going to be grilled, the beverages, pizzas, and a number of other things as well. Next one, please. Okay, so a few things to keep in mind. Even though the event doesn't take place until the 25th, We're asking parents to sign up by Sunday, May 8th, just so that we can, as a subcommittee, look at what we've had and see if it's feasible to continue with the event. If we don't get enough help, we can't do it by ourselves. So we really do need everybody to step forward. And then another thing to keep in mind, this is an event for the students. It's not like a family event like Carnival, but we do encourage parents to sign up to volunteer donations and then stay to serve them, or to take sign up for one of the many volunteer spots we have. And so if you have questions or concerns, or you'd like to help, again, you can email us at that email address on your screen, or go to the IMSAPAC.org website and click on Friday Fest.
Thank you very much, Carrie. So as she mentioned, we do need a lot of help from parents. So please, please, please take a look at your emails or visit the website and let us know how you can help out. And Carrie, just to make sure for parents checking their emails, it's coming from fridayfest@imsapac.org, correct? Okay. So you might want to check your spam emails to see if it's in there. Okay, next we have updates from our senior banquet committee. And so I will be presenting the updates on their behalf. Our chairs are Nisha Shambag and Rhoda Matson. So as you've been hearing, senior banquet is upcoming for seniors and their families. So that is on June 3rd, the night before graduation. It's at the Embassy Suites in Naperville. Registration is closed. We are at full capacity. So thanks to all the senior families who have registered so far. As Jenna had mentioned, you can verify your selections on the website. And the biggest thing is, because it is a celebration for seniors and their families, they do need volunteers to help with the subcommittee. So it does have a lot of involvement to get this rolling. So think of it as like a wedding almost, because you have all of those things going on in the background in order for this event to take place. So as you can see, Rhoda and Nisha do have some wonderful people lined up to help with these different things, but they could use some additional volunteers just to help execute all of that closer to the date of the event. So if you are able to help out, please contact them at seniorbanquet@imsapac.org. Okay, and then also here's just some more details about the selections that were available for adults and kids meals. So make sure to check on the website, parents of seniors who have registered, to make sure that your selections are correct. And if you have any questions, please send them to seniorbanquet@imsapac.org. And I did also want to give a special thank you to Nisha today. She's also our hospitality co-chair. Nisha, if you could just stand real quick and give a wave. She is the one that coordinated all of the food here today. So again, thank you for all of that. I appreciate it. Okay, so next we will have updates from our PAC academic committee chairs. So Moji and Gabriella. Gabriella is sitting right next to me, and Moji is coming up here to give us some updates.
We just have just wanted to academic committees, Gabriella and I, and we just have a small update for mixed side, which is on the next slide, about peer tutor opportunity for your students. The applications are out, they should know about it, and the deadline is extended till end of day on the 26th, so please encourage your students to apply for that. And the next big happy news we have on the next slide is that we found great volunteers to take this committee forward for next year. Deepan Lee is here, and he goes by DK, and I'm really excited to have him. Yeah, I just found out today that we have a senior representative also. So DK has a alumni, kind of an alumni, but through the program, so he knows everything about all the levels, which is great. And then currently he has a sophomore, so he'll be a parent of the junior next year. We have recruited a parent of senior, and also all of the juniors will be familiar with Piyush, because he was the representative for all the junior class this year. So it's a great combination when the new parents come in, parents of the sophomores. We're hoping that we could add somebody from that grade level as well, so that we have representation from each group in that committee, which is really important. So that's what we have. Thank you.
We also wanted to give a special thank you to Mojo and Gabriella, who have been very, very actively involved. They are both parents of seniors this year, so we will miss them. And thank you guys for everything you've done. So thank you for that. And next, we have Dr. Comfort Akwaji Anderson, who is here to give updates from the principal's office.
Here I have my teacher voice. So, hello. All right, I have a few reminders. So I didn't do slides, but I have a few notes here. So first, you know that the quarter 4 ends on May 27th. So please continue to encourage the kids to do their best, to make sure they go talk to their teachers. If they have any issues, come talk to me. I'm always there. I know my colleague is here from Student Affairs. Where did I see Dana? Right there. So we're always there to talk to them, and our job is to help them so that they can be successful. One of the things that we are doing, which is a little differently, I'm going to mention this, but I'm not trying to start, some kind of a war or something. We are really dabbling with mastery grading. I'm sure you all have heard about that. And what it is we focus on what students know and what else they need to know. So at a particular time, what do they know? And how can they demonstrate to us what it is that they know? And then work on how can we help them to better learn? Because just because they don't know something today doesn't mean that they can demonstrate what they know for us tomorrow. So I'm going to continue to share information and engage you all in talking about mastery grading, but that's something that we are really engaging in. We have a lot of faculty members who are dabbling with some aspect of it. And so if you hear the students say, I had to do a retake or that kind of thing, that's what it's about. So we can share more about that. Final exams are Tuesday, May 31st through Thursday, June 2nd. So the final schedule can be found on the website. So if you're trying to find out when the final exam schedule is, just go to the website under academics. You'll get that information. Semester 2 grades are going to be due by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June 8th. So don't panic. Don't make the kids panic if they keep going to power school and they see a grade in there that doesn't reflect what they thought their grade is going to be. It's because the final grades are not going to be done until Wednesday, June 8th. If you receive a notification from Dean Gaza that your students have one or more at this grade, what I like to encourage you to do is please review all of the information that is in that email. There's a lot. The reason we're doing that is to alert you that the students are, earning grades that don't look very good, but it doesn't mean that they're flunking the class. It just means they are at risk of not doing well in that class. So follow the directions, all of the information that we have in that email, and get back to Dean Gaza. He'll respond and help you, support you, answer questions, and what have you. Graduation, I'm so excited about graduation. We are going to be in person again this year. That's exciting. Also at NIU, like we did last year. I sent an email last week. I sent an email last week. So check your spam if you haven't seen that email yet. June 4th, and tickets are going to so for children 2 years old and up, they'll need a ticket. So they also have a clear back policy. You all remember that last year. You come in with a purse or something clear. You have to be able to see what's in there. I say you leave your bags in the car. There's not too much to go get a bag that has, is clear and everybody can see the stuff that's in your purse. I don't know what to do. Yeah. Yeah. So we are going to give each of the families 10 tickets. So each student will get 10 tickets. And those will be sent to the home address that's on the student's record. We're not going to give extra tickets. So if someone's not going to go, just, among yourselves or the family decide who is going to use those tickets. That's a lot of tickets, so I think you'll be fine. General seating only. Last year, we did it in a way that, you could all have a certain section to sit in, and this year they won't let us do that. So when you come in, with your tickets, it's just, general seating. So you just find a spot, and there's plenty of room. For those of you who've been there, don't worry about it. There's a lot of room in that convention center. And the doors will open at 2:30. So that's what I have for right now. As always, I'm going to be right here, so let me know what questions you have.
Thank you, Dr. Comfort. Appreciate it. Okay, next we have Dana Gannett from Student Affairs. You've got the Residence Life panel with you, right?
Can I just make a couple of?
Yes, definitely.
I promise they'll be quick.
Yep.
Hello, IMSA PAC. Good afternoon. I miss these meetings. I'm not gonna lie. I miss coming to them as a parent, and it's been a while since I've been here, so it's really good to be here with all of you. Okay, a couple of very quick announcements. Counselor Keisha has reached out to the PAC Executive Committee to gain the current voice and focus group discussions surrounding the future of mental health days and counselor excused absences. So I'm sure that that's already been taking place, but we're very happy to get that parent voice for some of these really important discussions that are coming up. We do have Casa de Alma Cultural Show that's going to be live streamed tomorrow. As you probably remember, all of our cultural shows, all of the representatives, all the students got together and they decided on one student show, and parents, it would be live streamed in. So this is how you'd be able to engage and see the show for tomorrow night. And it is Sunday, April 24th, starting at 7 p.m. Hopefully you all received the email. There was an email with a link. If you haven't, please come and talk to me because I can forward it. Monday, the 25th at 8 p.m. in the auditorium is the Tight Involvement Awards. Known as the Tough Keys. It's very fancy. And it's an awards program highlighting individuals, groups, programs from our clubs, co-curriculars, athletics, and school-wide programs. Parents are welcome to attend, and students are encouraged to wear formal attire. So it's a very nice event. A couple of senior updates. And I know that a lot of folks have gotten a lot of emails, but senior updates, prom and Six Flags grad night forms and payment were due this Friday, April 29th in the Student Life office. Payments can be made by check or on My School Bucks. Prom is Friday, May 13th at Grand Geneva Resort in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Post-prom is going to be taking place at Timber Ridge Water Park and Arcade. Parent photography and send-off is going to be from 3 to 4:30 p.m. that day. Six Flags grad night, that's for seniors only on Saturday, May 21st from 8 to 4. Seniors from schools all across the state are going to be joining from, oh my goodness, 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. I know I said that, but I just have to repeat it because I've been in bed for about 4 hours. Or not quite. Okay, that was an exaggeration, of course. But I'm pretty early. Okay. Seniors, like I said, from all across the state will be in the park. They'll have it to themselves. There's going to be DJs. There's going to be a buffet. They're going to have a blast. All students must take the school-provided transportation to and from all of these senior events. So I just want to make sure you know we have to make sure that we can take roll and make sure that everyone's safe and secure. Also, you might have seen the monitoring committee update, but masks will not be required for off-campus field trips like prom. Okay, we're here at IMSA on the bus, so indoors and on the bus they will still have to wear masks. But when they're at the venue, off-campus events, they won't. You all have already talked about luau and senior banquet, so that's all I've got. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dana, for those updates. So as you can see, even though it's only a few more weeks left in the school year, there are still a lot of things going on. So can't wait to see, and I'm sure your kids will be sharing with you a bunch of those things happening if they are talking about it. So next, we're just going to cover a few more things, and then we will hop into the speaker series. So you've heard it mentioned here multiple times, but a great resource for you is www.imsapac.org. The reason why I say the www is once in a while you do need to type that in. But imsapac.org, we have a lot of information on there about things that we've covered. But also, if you haven't had a chance to peruse the calendar, it really does include a lot of information on there because John Mock, who is our treasurer, but also helps out the tech team, does a great job of updating that calendar as well as with our committee chairs for any of those upcoming events. So you can easily view them there and add them to your own calendars. And as I mentioned before, this meeting is being recorded. We will have the recording and the slide deck available also on the website under IMSA PAC sessions. And you can also view prior meetings and slide decks as well. If you would like to donate to the PAC, there's also information about that. And as I mentioned, our very last meeting will be next month in May here in Into. From 10 to 11:30, we'll have our general PAC session information. And then also we'll have a speaker session immediately after that, which will include members of IMSA alumni. So we have had parents who've asked, okay, what is life like after you've attended IMSA? So what better way to find that out than to have some IMSA alumni come back and tell you what that is. So they can let you know things that they've learned from being here, but also what they're doing beyond that. Okay, and then also we do have regional events that will be scheduled throughout the summer. So please check the calendar for that. You'll check your emails, you'll get some information about that. The regional reps will be sharing that as well. If you are interested in helping out by either hosting a picnic or one of the events or finding out more about how to help volunteer with those events, please reach out to us at info@imsapac.org and we'll get you connected. And also, if you're curious, what is your region and you're not sure, again, imsapac.org, we have, if you go under regional representatives, you'll see what those different regions are. Okay. Board of Trustees information is here as well. There is a meeting coming up in May. So if you visit those links, you'll find out more information about that. Okay. And ways to contact us as well. Now, any questions or comments before we start the speaker panel? No? Okay, thanks. And if you do come up with anything else, let us know for sure, either throughout or in the chat, and we will get that to you. So next, I'd like to bring up again, Dana Gannett. We have Pallavi, am I pronouncing that correctly? Pallavi, Tara Rafael Gonzalez, and Kylie Marsden will be part of our residential life speaker panel. So give us a minute to get set up. Yes. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, so we're going to talk.
First, I'm an area coordinator here, but I just go by Polly. That's what all your students know me as. I'm here today with two of our lovely RCs, and of course, Miss Dana over here. I'll let everybody introduce themselves.
I'm Raphael. I'm an RC in 1501. This is my 5th year. I'm going to be finishing up as an RC. I'm also an IMSA alum, so I know what a lot of your students have gone through. I'm the dance team coach. I'm also one of the advisors for Alma Lazina.
Hi, I'm Kylie Marsden. This is my first year here as an IMSA RC. I am an RC in 1506. I am an advisor to Film Society and JSA.
And again, I'm Dana Gannett. I'm the Senior Director of Student Affairs. Great to be here.
All right, so I thought we would kick off our session with a little intro about Res Life and what we do here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. Many of you probably know a lot of this information already, but it's a good refresher. We have up to 650 students living on campus this year, which is a lot. It's been great, lots of energy after a whole virtual year. And the role of Res Life really is to take care of the students outside of the classroom after their classes are done. That's what we're here for, to help support students through their development, through support academically, whatever needs to get done so that they make it to that graduation date. The layout of Res Life, we have 7 res halls, as I'm sure all of you know, 1501 through 1507. Each hall has 4 wings each, and then about 18 to 24 students live in each wing. So in a building, there's maybe around 96 students, so you can just say roughly 100 per hall. And typically we have 1 RC living in every wing. So usually we would have 4 RCs in every hall. So this year, well, actually I'm new here, so I don't know when this was put into place, but we have a couple of co-ed halls right now. Those are 1501, 1503, and 1507. We welcome all genders to live in those halls. 1502 and 1506 are all female at birth halls, and 1504 and 1505 are all male at birth halls. A little bit of our hierarchy here in our residence life department. Our director is Erin Ryan, who used to be an RC. Then she has moved up and now she's our director. I'm sure some of you have interacted with her before. She couldn't be here today, but she sends her regards. There's myself and Stephanie Broy. We are area coordinators. Some of you may know Stephanie was at 1506 RC, yep, thumbs up, with Kylie over there. But she is now part of my team and we love to have her. We have the RCs, as I mentioned before, about 4 per hall. So if you do the math, that's 28 total. And then day hall monitors, we have 1 per hall, and the day hall monitors are overlooking the hall during the daytime, as the name suggests. So your students always have somebody in the hall to go to during, a full day. All right, so within each hall, we have a hall office. This is where RCs hold office hours, office shifts. They're hanging out there, so students can come and ask them anything they want to, just hang out, get some help, sign up for a trip, whatever it might be. On weekdays, RCs are in the halls from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. Those are their hours. And the day hall monitors, slight correction from the slide here, they come in at 7:30 in the morning, not 7. But they are here until 3, and then the RCs transition in. On the weekends, day hall monitors are not on campus, but the RCs are there, and they open the office at 10 a.m. on the weekends, and they're there until midnight. Quick little bullet point down there. Yes, there's staff in the office, and they do some of those mundane office responsibilities, but they're also there to just interact with your students and be there for, good relationships, give them advice, be a trusted adult, basically. Some things that are done in the RC office, as you may already know, we do 2 types of attendance checks. Those are rolling checks. Those are kind of midday checks to make sure students are still here doing what they're supposed to, and then curfew checks at night to make sure everybody is in the building before we close down and go to bed. Other things that are done in the RC office, we sign students out. If there are building issues or facilities issues with the student's room, water won't turn off in their sink, whatever it is, they come down to the RC office, let their RC know. And of course, everybody in the RC office is there for candid student interactions. And your students know this. I see them in the offices all the time when I walk around. They love their RCs. The RCs have done a fabulous job building those relationships with them. On the student development side, that's all of the things that RCs do outside of being in the office. Some of the things included are doing social or educational programming. Some of these are on campus, some of them are off campus. Every Tuesday night, we hold some type of educational program within Res Life on various life topics that students are interested in learning about or should be learning about through their development as a high school student. RCs also advise student organizations. They've done a great job doing that. They serve on various committees at IMSA. They have various liaison roles as well. Some of you may have heard of something like an RSL liaison. So those are some of our student leaders. We have RSL liaisons who help facilitate the student leadership program. We have peer tutor liaisons who help with academics, class club who help raise money for things like prom. We have a whole different variety of liaison roles. And then last but not least, student trips. RCs help take students off campus for either necessary or just fun types of trips. We offer grocery trips almost every day. Sometimes we do fun trips like going to the mall or to arcade, whatever. And we've kind of been working with all of the COVID restrictions this year. So trips have been a little all over the place, but we've really done our best to continue offering those to students. Student support, as I mentioned earlier, pretty much the RCs are a point person that students talk to almost every day. If they wanted to, they can come into the office at any time to talk to them or a day hall monitor. They're the first line of communication if students have concerns. So typically an RC would be the first person that a student would trust to go to outside of a classroom setting to go and share, anything that they feel that they want to share, if they need help with something. An RC is that first point that'll assist them. From there, depending on the situation, an RC may refer a student to our various resources around campus. That includes health services, counseling, academic personnel, even myself or Stephanie or Dana as a supervisor if there's a situation that we need to be involved in. So we have a plethora of pathways that RCs can give or help students with. And then, as mentioned before, oftentimes RCs are the trusted adults for the students here. And honestly, even the Res Life supervisors, we're also here. I live on campus, Stephanie lives on campus, so we interact with students as well when they need to talk. And the last little bit I have here, every person in Res Life serves in an on-call capacity. It's just different depending on the position. So supervisors, we kind of manage the whole campus after hours and navigate any kind of situations that come up. RCs do the same on a different rotation within their own halls. They manage their students every single night. They're kind of a go-to as well for different situations that come up for students. The on-campus experience, well, as you all know, we have a very unique experience here being a boarding school. It's a really great opportunity for your students to come and figure out some of those life skills before potentially going away to college or doing a gap year or whatever their plans might be. And some of the opportunities that come up for them, being in this residential space, the classes, like class of 22, 23, 24, they're not really split in that way where they only interact with their class. There's a lot of mixed collaboration, lots of events that they can really get to know everybody at the school, which is really awesome. And of course, living here on campus gives them a sense of independence and responsibility, which is a great skill to have moving forward in life. They're going to have roommates in college. They're going to have roommates in life afterwards. So it's a really good opportunity to have some personalized experience here and have the help of RCs helping them learn those skills. Other life skills, housekeeping, laundry, time management. They've got to do all that on their own here. Of course, we're here to give advice and help, but this is where they come to learn how to do those things and prepare themselves for life outside of IMSA. And of course, they have access to a lot of those resources I mentioned earlier, extracurriculars. They work with their teachers regularly in office hours. We have tutors, again, the peer tutor program, where students tutor other students. We have sports, clubs, lots of things. So in many ways, we have the typical public high school activities going on here, but it's a boarding school. Programming, I'll just quickly run through this because I already mentioned it. Every Tuesday night, we hold some kind of educational program. for students, and it's mandatory for everybody unless they have something, you know, that they really have to attend to. They're based on 4 different curriculum goals that I've listed here on this slide. So every week we choose one of those goals and develop a program around it. And I've listed some examples of program topics that we have done in the past. These include things like self-care, consent, healthy relationships, peer pressure. So it's a very wide range of topics of things that students will be dealing with. They may be observing here, they're growing through it. So they're meant to be educational for them. All right, I didn't realize how many slides I put up here, I'm sorry. Social programming, done at RC discretion. So these are not usually mandatory every Tuesday night. RCs come up with their own really awesome programs around, various times of the year. I'm sure many of you know because many of you have donated to those awesome programs that we throw here. So they may have, movie night, pizza night. They might go on a trip to Chicago. RCs really have a lot of creative flexibility, and I think they go above and beyond when it comes to social programming. And then, of course, we have the bigger events on campus that we help with, like homecoming, prom, etc.
I think those are your slides.
Perfect. All right, we are done with the slideshow. So that was a quick little introduction. Thank you for sitting through that. And I guess we'll open it up to questions or comments from everyone out there. And just a quick note, I know we're scheduled to be here until 2:30, but if we could wrap it up by 2:25. But actually we pulled our RCs out of something and we need to send them back by 2:30. So I'll open it up.
Okay, so does anybody here, if there's a question in the.
Hi, my name is Marjorie. My daughter is 6. I'm not that I'm telling her, but I do hear that sleeping time here. Some people sleep at 2 a.m., 1 a.m. midnight. So, and I'm always telling her, well, I would never sleep like that. So, how do you control that?
We have several conversations with students about going to sleep on time with time management, because the last thing I want to see is my student come in the next day going, yeah, I got no sleep because I just did homework all night. I've had it happen, and then we sit down and I'm like, should we be doing this? Why were you doing homework from midnight to 2 a.m.? But with policy-wise, they have checked at 10 p.m. on school nights. And then in room for sophomore, in room is at midnight, and then sophomores have at 11. Yes. So at midnight, they all are in their room, and they have to stay in their room. And we do rounds at midnight roughly. I usually we do from like midnight to like 12:15, 12:20 as we wrap up our close, to make sure that there's no students in the main commons and that they're at least in their room. But yeah, I usually when they come to me and they say, oh yeah, I was up to 2 a.m., we have a conversation about that one.
Yeah, and I guess to add to it a little bit, kind of just making sure when things like that happen, that it's not a pattern with students. There's always going to be once in a while where someone's just going to have to stay up later. That's how life is. But then if you notice a student like, oh, you've been up every day this week, like really late time. What's going on? Making sure, oh, is it just you have a lot of work? Okay, why do you have a lot of work? Did a lot of teachers assign you stuff? Are you doing a bunch of extracurriculars? Maybe you should look at taking a step back from those for a little bit. Is there anything outside of work going on that's giving you trouble focusing? Are you having like roommate conflicts or something? Like, is there a reason you're working just late as opposed to being able to get stuff done earlier in the day? So kind of just like looking at everything surrounding their workload and why they're up that late.
I think our resident counselors do an absolutely phenomenal job of intervening when they're seeing these habits that are happening in our students. We have also done programming surrounding attendance, getting good sleep and having good sleep habits. But I was overseeing the attendance office, there were numerous times where students would come in and say that they were late for class the following day because they weren't sleeping. And I've had those educational conversations with them. I'm hoping our parents are also having those educational conversations with them. I'm sure you are. But one of my taglines was to make it A's if you're not getting a D. They have to get good sleep in order to do well in school. So I know it's a joint effort, but we're all trying to work together on that one. Yeah. They just stay up until 2 a.m. with the hotspot, which then brings a whole accessibility issue with homework, because then some students have basically an academic advantage over other students. So we wanted to clear the playing field from both my understanding. Yeah, cool.
Do we have any questions from anyone else here? And I wanted to reiterate, I do apologize that we did have some sound issues for those on Zoom. The topic that was brought up was about sleep here at the academy. And so that's what the RRCs were answering. Right. Okay, I guess another question to ask for all of you is coming up on the last few weeks of the semester. Are there any kind of tips or anything like that that you have for our families regarding their students, and then also leading up to finals, but also move out, etc.?
Watch those power school conferences, because this is like the perfect time to make sure that your students are doing well. And watch those comments. I watch those comments, and I'm actually going to start having conversations with students. If I see things like, hey, they're missing assignments, we don't want it, like, especially for our seniors, we don't want it at the end of the year, all of a sudden they can't cross the stage. God forbid that would ever happen. But check those power school comments. Give your students a little pat on the back. They're doing great.
Also make sure your students are turning in any service hours that they've done. There's lots of students every year who it's like, oh, you have 0 hours. They're like, no, I've done like 500. I just haven't turned them in. So make sure they're getting those turned in regards to move out and stuff like that for those of you where it's possible. And if you live close, every weekend that you have your students home, try to have them start bringing back any unnecessary things. That way, that last week, you're not getting everything out at the same time. Also, we'll send emails in the halls also as reminders, but start having those conversations with your students and figuring out when their last finals are, because if you're in underclassmen, typically the way the end of the year works, after your last final, you have around 24 hours to get everything moved out and out. Obviously, if you need a little more time or something, that's something that can be discussed or work with, but just start like making those plans ahead of time so you're not caught off guard by anything.
And in regards to service hours, if you could please remind parents what those rules are right now.
Okay, so every student who graduates from the Illinois Athletics Academy must have 200 service learning hours locked into Power School. Okay, many of our students, and for our seniors, obviously, this is a big push because we still have approximately 50 students out of the class of 200, 25% who don't have their hours in.
Many of our students are telling us, yes, I do need to get them in, they're done. Okay, and that's exactly what Raphael was alluding to. We just need to make sure that they do that sooner rather than later, so we can stop with you all as parents, and we can stop with the students. We've got them in, everything's good. For our sophomore and junior parents, again, reiterating that it's a requirement for graduation. And so it's necessary that they have those 200 service learning hours done. Summer is a great time to get a lot of more. When my daughter was a student here, we spent the summer volunteering at a food pantry, and she was able to knock out quite a few and just hit an excellent, it was an excellent opportunity for her. She really enjoyed her time. So that's just, a plug for all of our sophomore and junior parents and for senior parents. If you've looked in Power School and you don't see that your child has gotten to that 200, please have that conversation. Carly Van Overberg in our student life office is the coordinator for service learning. Please reach out to her with any questions. Of course, I'm always a resource as well.
Okay, sorry.
Can you see?
Hopefully they'll be able to. Okay, it's not on mute, so you should all hear me. One quick thing about service hours as well, from like the RC perspective. Sophomores and juniors for classes
What?
they have to have yeah, they have to have a certain amount of service hours to participate. So there are benchmarks for that. I don't remember the specifics, specifics off the top of my head. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. So 66 for sophomores. And if they can't get that in, they can't participate in like one of the greatest things for IMSA students, according to IMSA students as well. Clash week is the most intense week in their entire high school career. And we all get to see it. So I hate to have that taken away from them. No.
I'm going to put in a little plug. If your sophomore or junior student needs our senior banquet, you should raise your hand again. They need help for senior banquet, so they would be glad to
Friday
issue.
Fest.
And Friday Fest. Okay, yeah, luau. So those are two opportunities they have. So they have luau and they have senior banquet. And so those are a great way to earn service hours as well before the end of the school. Do we have any questions from our panelists? How about from our Zoom callers? Do you have any questions for our panelists? And one other question for you. What are some things that you're seeing from that students are doing that they probably should improve on? Anything that's going on that
This is a Dana question. Here, wait.
Okay. I see a variety of things. What there seems to be an uptick in is some intervisitation. Right now, intervisitation is not allowed, okay, at all, even with permission. So the uptick is we have male students going into female halls and vice versa. And that is definitely against IMSA's rules. So that's been an uptick very, very recently. I do tend to see some academic dishonesty cases that come through toward the end of the academic year. There's a lot of pressure on our kids. And sometimes they're making some choices that they might not make at other times. And so there tends to be that a little bit of an uptick there. And then overall, just making some interesting choices, trying to see friends. They're going into wings that they're not supposed to. Might not be an visitation, but they're against our health and safety rules for right now as we're still navigating this pandemic. But those are the primary things that I am seeing. I would probably say, and that's from a disciplinary standpoint, those reports that are actually making their way to me. I know that our RCs see a number of other things that might be happening in the halls pretty consistently, but might not be making their way to my desk. So I'll, have you add to it.
Okay, I have stuff. One thing that we like to emphasize for six is that you should make sure that you're not doing your community members a disservice. And one of those things would be dishes. That's a big one in the halls. Forgetting, like, take your dried dishes back so that it gets kind of cluttered in the kitchen. Leaving food in the sink. Those are very big things that we like to emphasize because we like to hall clean. So dishes and hall cleanliness are something that we emphasize a lot. And during like the finals week time, those things start to slip through the cracks just because they're stressed. They have other things on their mind, so they're gonna forget their dried dishes on the counter. So that's a big thing that we see.
Just a smaller thing, probably more so for the seniors, but really for just anyone towards the end of the year, a lot of burnout. It's like they've been working hard all year. So, just whenever you get a chance, remind your kids, like, doing a good job, try to encourage them, like, if they're ever home, it's kind of like, checking on them. They're teenagers, so they probably will just say they're fine and walk away. But at least you're reaching out, right? You're giving them a chance to say something. And then for the seniors especially, it's kind of like a itchy time of the year, right? They know what colleges they're going to probably, they're ready to just kind of move on to the next chapter of their life. So their motivation might be kind of like drifting off towards the end of the year.
And going along with that, with our non-senior students, I have noticed sometimes we have students who will do nothing but stay in their room and study. And as we get to the end of the year, that may become a little more intense. So if you all could encourage your students to come out, socialize, the RCs will have a number of social programs going on at the end of the year to help with stress relief and just hanging out. The weather is getting better. Maybe today's a fluke, I don't know, pretending it's summer. But the weather is getting better. Have them come outside, let them kind of socialize. It's really part of wellness, to get out there and interact with the community and relieve some of that stress. Forget about the books for just a few minutes and go outside your room. So I think that's something that quite a few of our students can help themselves with and get out of their room.
Do we have any other questions for our residence life panel? No? Well, we'd like to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules and for enlightening us about everything that's involved in residential life here. We do appreciate it, and so thank you very much. And if they do have questions for residence life, what's the best way to contact? Okay.
Any of us can answer questions. You all probably already have the RC numbers in every call. You can call that number directly. You can email RC. You can email us. Yeah. So we're pretty available in multiple channels.
Thank you again. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of you again for joining us today. And we will see you next month.